What would you say the mission of Fusion is?
At Fusion, our mission is to help and empower Israeli entrepreneurs to build their dream companies. So I was liaising and working with a lot of entrepreneurs and companies in different stages. And this passion of creating a bridge between the Israeli ecosystem and Los Angeles started about 6 years ago. And this fall, we mark 3 years since our first check. And we've done 49 deals and worked with 49 teams since then, and it's just the beginning, hopefully.
Such a prolific portfolio that you're building there. So obviously the accelerator, right? I'm sure you didn't expect COVID to happen. None of us did. So how did this whole pandemic impact how you ran things this year?
One thing that we did do in the first couple of weeks of the program, that we brought together in a socially distanced, approved way, the founders in Tel Aviv to meet each other, to create a cohort, because it was important for us to create a group setting. And then after that, the rest of the program was virtual. And some of the founders are in the US, some in Israel. And because we canceled the events that we've done in April, the pitch events, we decided to do this week a virtual pitch event for all the companies we've invested since the beginning of the year. That's a little bit of some adjustments that we've done because of COVID-19.
But going back to your mission at Fusion about bringing Israeli companies to this LA market, I'm curious if you see any differences that you'd like to highlight between the LA and Israeli tech ecosystems.
Main similarities between Israel ecosystem and the LA ecosystem, that every year in the last decade or so has been a record year in terms of venture capital investments, both in Israel and in LA. Just in the last 2 years in Israel, there have been close to like 20 unicorn companies. And Israel is small, is smaller than LA County. Israel is 9 million people. But I think the main force behind Israel economy is the tech sector in Israel, and that's why some people call it the startup nation. And this is because I think of a lot of Jewish mothers that push people to go to universities, but also the fact that there's when you're 18 in Israel, it's unfortunate, but that's the reality. You go to compulsory military service, and many times we find in Israeli companies that we've invested in that the CTO or the founding team members have met during their military service or have gained specific training in technological units, in the intelligence corps, in the Air Force, that helps them and to build companies in other sectors. One thing to say that most Israeli companies, vast majority of them, looking at the US market as their main target market. So 90% of the companies are looking to build US companies, maybe with great R&D in Israel. Our vision is to help those companies or those entrepreneurs coming from Israel build successful US companies with great R&D in Israel. So that's a little bit about us.